Good evening, and welcome to the historic Mohawk Mountain House, our friends and hosts for tonight's gathering. We are grateful for all of the efforts of the event staff of Mohawk. They're not here to thank them personally, but they're scattered. Hopefully your visit afforded you some time to hike the sky top, or maybe take a hike through the woods. If you did that, check your ticket, or enjoy a relaxing walk on the porch. I'm Marty Irwin, the chair of Mohawk Consultation's Board of Managers. We're pleased you could join us as we honor Stiles Najac, our 2019 Distinguished Achievement Award recipient. As Stiles stated in our video, participation in the 2010 conference on hunger in the Hudson Valley led exactly to the kind of networking our founder, Keith Smiley, had in mind when he wrote his pamphlet, The Importance of Networking. You can see that in his other pamphlets online at Mohawk Consultations. Stiles' narrative in the video speaks to why we are honoring her tonight. She said it. Except for the rest of us, we're going to stay some. Stiles, Senator Gillibrand has sent her a congratulatory letter, which I'd like to read. Dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to send greetings to everyone attending the Mohawk Consultation's annual Distinguished Achievement Award ceremony. Congratulations to tonight's honoree. I am grateful to individuals like tonight's honoree for their steadfast dedication to helping others in the community. Since 1980, Mohawk Consultations has helped the Hudson Valley strive by creating a space to seek solutions to a range of social and environmental problems in practical ways. Their dedication to this task places them among the leading voices for diversity, education, and empowered solutions. Mohawk Consultation stands as an example of community commitment that we hope to inspire across the state of New York. Please accept my best wishes for a magnificent event and many more years of continued success. Sincerely, Kirsten Gillibrand, United States Senator. Tonight, Lisa Hofflick, Senator Gillibrand's Hudson Valley Regional Director, is with us. Welcome, Lisa. I think you're over here. Share our appreciation of the Senator. Congressman Delgado has also offered his congratulations, Stiles, and I'd like to read that letter. Dear Stiles, it is with great honor that I congratulate you on your receipt of Mohawk Consultation's 2019 Distinguished Achievement Award. Based on your inspiring work as Food Security Coordinator for the Orange County Cooperative Extension, I know that you are more than deserving of this honor. In recognition of your achievement, I am proud to present you with this certificate of special congressional recognition. As a graduate of SUNY New Paltz and a longtime community leader, you expanded the Orange County Gleaning Program by more than fourfold. Thanks to your efforts, the program has become a statewide model. More importantly, hundreds of our neighbors have provided with access to fresh produce. This would not have been possible without your innovation and leadership. For that I am grateful. On behalf of New York's 19th Congressional District, thank you for your continued service. Our community is tangibly better off because of your work. If I can ever be of assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to my office. In your service, Antonio Delgado, Member of Congress. Biodiversity Outreach Coordinator for the New York State Hudson River Estuary Program and a Mohawk Consultations Board member. Beth McClendon Allwright, Ulster Corps co-founder and director. Deborah DeWant, who is personally able to be here tonight. Rondout Growers Association and Ulster Corps Board member. And Steve Stain, Education Director of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater. Would you all please stand for a moment? Jen, you're welcome. Mohawk Consultation is a group of volunteers deeply committed to the environment in recognition of the interrelationship of all life on our home. We're based at Mohawk Mountain House and continue the long-standing Smiley family tradition of meetings that incorporate a diversity of perspectives. I'd like to acknowledge the heartfelt thanks of our entire consultation board to Brad Bird, who for the past 7 years served tirelessly as our board chair. Shoes off, tried to fill, Brad. Brad's our videographer tonight. Brad, would you please stand? And we have 2 new board advisors. They have a year to see if they can put up with us. Tara Lee and Modelli Clark. Would you and all board members please stand to be recognized? We'd like to invite you to join our 2019 Fall Conference, Creating and Sustaining Peace. Mohawk Consultations is a collaborating partner with Mohawk Mountain House to present a special weekend conference on building and sustaining peace from November 1st through November 3rd. The conference is part of the 150th anniversary celebration of the founding of the Mohawk Mountain House by the Smiley family in 1869. The gathering continues a living tradition of cultural conferences here at the Mountain House, beginning with the International Arbitration Conferences held between 1895 and 1960. Attendees will have the opportunity to hear keynote speakers and panelists who are actively implementing means to building peace. There will be opportunities for networking in the tradition of Mohawk Mountain House and Mohawk Consultations. Check our website, www.mohawk-consultations.org. Don't forget the hyphen. We are so grateful to our sponsors as your support tonight allows us to have this event. Fox and Hound Wine and Spirits, Hudson Valley Farm Hub, Hudson Valley Tractor Company, New Paltz Wine and Spirits, and Safe Harbors of the Hudson, which happens to be another successful effort led by Stiles. Fox and Hounds, Kenny McGuire, and Farm Hub Jeff Scott are with us. Please raise your hands. Thanks to all the sponsors. Your support has made it possible for the communities to be with us tonight. Tonight's award program is presented by the efforts of Kitty Brown, our program chair, and Lori Heedy, PowerPoint Pro, who is operating our slideshow. We know this will be a fun evening for all. Just 2 quick housekeeping notes. Please turn off your cell phones after the line. And second, for our presenters, I'm the volunteer that does the timekeeping. I'll let you know when you have 1 minute left. If, like me, you tend to keep talking, then you'll get this. Now it's my turn to present Kitty Brown, who will share our program.
Yes, please.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. One of the great rewards of working on this event is meeting so many new people and greeting so many old friends who will soon become old friends and new people all together in this room. Thank you all for joining us. Our honoree, Stiles Najac, is such an accomplished and beloved woman that introducing her through reading her bio would simply not do justice to her achievements. plus it would take too long. So instead, we asked her colleagues and her mom and her dad to help us put together a visual bio of Stiles. And now you're going to see, I would call her the queen of glean. And let's see if I can do this. Yay! Wow. Okay. Just FYI, every time Cornell Cooperative extension of Orange County pops up in this little presentation, which is a lot, I'm going to be saying CCEOC, okay? That will take an hour off of this presentation. Okay. This is obviously where it all began. Stiles off to a good start with her dad, Clark Najac. Out of the hundreds of news clippings from Stiles' mom's collection, we have chosen just a few. Here is Stiles at the very first Orange County Get Fresh event. And here is Stiles in the news again about a beef donation from Bettinger Bluff Farm. We'll have more about that in just a minute. And when your daughter is the face of an article about school children attending her farm-to-school program, you know that one's a keeper. Back to the beef donation. Bettinger Bluff Farm donated 2 cows to CCEOC. Walden Bank paid for the processing, and the beef was donated to the Orange County Veterans Food Pantry. Networking is central to Mohawk Consultation's mission. Here are Ulster Corps, Farm to Food Pantry, Family of Woodstock, and CCEOC. Well, you can't see all of them because some of them are further out in the field, but they were all there that day harvesting strawberries. And they were all at our Hunger in the Hudson Valley Conference in 2010. These interns and volunteers are harvesting lettuce in the famous black dirt of Orange County. One of the great perks of working on this event has been learning about all of the amazing programs that Stiles works with. I did not know that there was such a thing as the Pine Bush Human Rights Academy. But here are kids from that program gleaning blueberries at Hudson Valley Farm Hub. The Farm Hub donated its entire blueberry crop. What have I skipped here? Oh, here is Stiles looking back on another productive day in the then new truck. It was donated by the Dyson Foundation and the Stormwater Department of CCEOC. This is a huge donation of apples from Penning's Orchard in Warwick. This farm started the first big glean. And here is the big glean. Almost 300 volunteers harvested over 100,000 pounds of apples from Penning's Orchard. The apples went to City Harvest Food Bank of the Northeast and local food pantries. About this day, Stiles said, "You guys totally rocked my world." There was one point when I looked up to see a row of cars coming over the hill, and I started to cry. There were already 35 cars in the parking lot, and the volunteers just kept coming. Here is a rare sighting of Stiles, not in the field or dirty boots. She's at the Ulster Corps Service Awards with Leanne Albritton, Poughkeepsie Farm Project, and Diane Saratori of People to People. And this photo is courtesy of Beth Albright of Ulster Corps. And these are carrots. Hundreds of pounds of carrots donated by Hudson Valley Farm Hub. And here is Beth McClendon Albright of Ulster Corps turning those carrots into carrot ginger soup, thanks to a collaboration with Rondat Valley Growers Association and Family of Woodstock. By the way, all three of those groups have our previous Distinguished Achievement Award recipients. Here we have Dirty Boots and Broccoli at Sycamore Farm. Stiles kept telling the volunteers that it was okay to get out of the rain, but they kept going, determined to fill one more box. And these are peppers from Sycamore Farms. Kevin Smith will be telling us a little bit more about his program and his partnership with Stiles' cleaning program in just a minute. This is a more recent Orange County Department of Health Get Fresh event. On that day, they distributed 12 pallets of fresh fruit throughout Orange County. I was a little surprised, but Style got really excited about this picture. She said, "Oh my gosh, every single item on that plate came from the Gleanmobile." So you can see there's a lot of stuff on that plate. Interestingly, the goose was culled from nuisance geese flocks by the DEC, and the entire meal was prepared and served by the Sacred Heart Church Food Pantry. And here we are picking cherries at Rose Hill Farm in Red Hook, a collaborative effort between Long Table Harvest and Ulster Corps and CCEOC. Also, Zana Najac makes his first appearance, although he's not really ready to appear in public, and I think he's in the building, right? Okay, he's in the building. This is where he got his first taste of cherries. Oh, and here we are back with the kids from the Pine Bush Human Rights Academy at Hudson Valley Farm Hub. You can learn more about this amazing social justice program if you go to the Pine Bush School District website. And here is Stiles gleaning blueberries at the Farm Hub's blueberry patch. Zana gets his first taste of blueberries. And every business needs a quality control department. And here she is, hard at work. Also, by now, Zana has sampled his first apple, cherry, blueberry smoothie. And here is Stiles coming full circle back on a tractor. When I sent this photo to the owner of Hudson Valley Tractor in Goshen, and I told him about Stiles and today's program, he got a little choked up. And he said, "Where do I send the check? I want to be a sponsor." And you only have to look at that smile to know why. So, before we move on to our speakers, please raise your hands when I mention your group, because there are so many groups in this room that are new to Mohawk, and we want to say thank you and introduce ourselves later on tonight. Dirty Boots Farm, are you here? I know I met you out on the porch. There you are, okay. Hudson Valley Farm Hub, Jeff is here, okay. Royal Acres Farm, there they are, okay. Sycamore Farm, there's Kevin, okay. The Belleville Buderhoff Community, there, thank you. Empowering Port Jervis. Community Foundations of the Hudson Valley, there she is. Cornell Cooperative Extension of Orange County, anybody in the room from there? Okay. Kingston YMCA Farm Project, okay. Meals on Wheels of Greater Newburgh, well, oh my gosh, a whole row, wow. Newburgh Urban Farm and Food Initiative, there you are. Rondout Valley Growers Association. Deb can't be here. She was out in the field too long and she got Lyme disease yesterday. Ulster Corps. I know we have some Ulster Corps here. Beth and John there, okay, and Elaine. Ulster County Legislature. There we go, okay. If you're a farmer, gleaner, or volunteer I overlooked, please give me a big wave now so I can introduce myself and apologize to you later.
Village Ridge.
Who is?
Village Ridge.
Oh, Village Ridge Farm Project.
Cooperative.
There you see? There you go. So apologies. Okay. All right. Our first speaker. We are so proud to have our new state senator join us as our her bill to protect New York farmers from lawsuits by manufacturers of GMOs just passed the New York State Senate. Let me just say this did not happen a year ago. Right? I love this quote from her. Farmers should not face time-consuming and expensive lawsuits when, through no fault of their own, their crops have been contaminated by GMOs. Yeah, none of this, oh, it just drifted over. No, it's contamination. As chair of the New York State Agricultural Committee, it's no surprise that Jen just got here from her mobile office at the Rosendale Farmers Market opening day. Please welcome Senator Jen.
Thank you. I live in fear of Marty's hook. But Marty, you can just say, cut it out, Jen, and I'll stop. But I'm so happy to be here. I want to thank the Board of Mohawk Consultations for inviting me. The work you have done over these many years to bring people together in what is really one of the most special places in the Hudson Valley, to work on these incredibly important issues, to make these local to global connections, and to generate actionable solutions that we can implement here in the Hudson Valley has been so valuable for our communities. And there's no better example than the work of our honoree. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here tonight as part of the honoring of Stiles. I first met Stiles when my twin babies were babies, and they're now 15, and now she has her own baby that's that age that I got to meet today. So it's really great to meet you, and you have been a leader in so many ways, an extraordinary leader, and just at the intersection of food security, of farming, and sustainability. Nationally, almost 40% of the food that we produce, we don't use, we waste. And we do this when we have many millions of people who are hungry. In New York State, we have 2.8 million people who are hungry, who live in food insecurity. This is just morally terrible, a real problem, and it's actually also really terrible for the environment to waste all of this food. Methane emissions. Methane is a really potent greenhouse gas, and 15% of our methane emissions come from our landfills, from food waste. So Stiles has shown us a path forward here in the Hudson Valley, how we can tackle this locally, and has made a huge difference. And I want to give a shout out too for Cornell Cooperative Extension and those programs and how important they are. And I see it as chair of the Agriculture Committee in the Senate. But the gleaning is this is it. This is what we should be doing. And it's not only about addressing food insecurity and getting food to those who need it. It's also about just the volunteerism that you're building as well. And that, the slides were so wonderful to see people of all ages engaged in this. And especially right now, volunteerism is so important to building strong communities. It's so important to building compassion, for building mutual understanding. These are things that we need now more than ever, particularly in this national climate. So I appreciate all that you have done to build that here in the Hudson Valley. I was asked to just say a few things, a few words about what we're doing at the state level. And so I just want to touch on a few things as they relate to food, food security, sustainability, agriculture. We just passed, it didn't get much attention in the press, but as part of the budget, we passed legislation to address food waste in New York in a big way, to require that large food waste generators, so this is big supermarket chains, restaurants, colleges, large food waste generators who generate 2 tons of waste or more a week are going to have to sort their food waste, and they're going to have to donate that food waste that is edible, and the rest of it they will have to get to an organics recycling facility if it's within 25 miles. So they're exempted if there isn't one within 25 miles, but I actually think that this is going to create a market for more of these organic waste recycling facilities. I'm very excited about this legislation. It directs the DEC to promulgate those regulations, and there'll be public hearings, and I encourage you all to go and say, this is a great idea. But that will be happening in over the course of the next year. As chair of the Agriculture Committee, I view it as my big challenge. I just want to say something about New York agriculture. We are very lucky in many ways. There are characteristics of our agricultural sector in New York that we really need to maintain. We have incredible diversity in our agricultural sector. We produce many, many, many different types of crops, and foods, and we have most of our farms are family-owned farms. The majority of them are small and mid-sized. It's very different here. It's very different from many places in this country where it's all about industrial food production. It's all about scale, and that's what the global economy favors right now. And there's this constant pressure, and we have to work really hard to maintain what we have because it's so important for our long-term food security. It's so important for environmental sustainability to maintain that diversity and that scale and that flexibility. So I look at it as my great challenge to figure out ways that we can get New Yorkers to consume much more of what we produce. So, we're looking at ways to expand farm to school and farm to other types of institutions, farms to hospitals, farms to nursing homes, farms to prisons, and ways we can really grow that. And I introduced a bill that we just passed in the state Senate to establish standards for local, what means local and local labeling, so that when a product says it's local, it actually has to be made with New York products. Imagine that, harvested here in New York, because right now you can have a teeny tiny bit of that product produced here in New York, and they can use those terms. So, but we're looking at these different ways that we can support and grow the local food movement here in New York. I've also been, long been passionate about addressing climate change, and I was doing this work at the local level for many years before coming to the state Senate, and I'm excited to be working on that here, and I feel that the agriculture has a really important and positive contribution to make in addressing climate change. I was very pleased. I worked to expand funding for a carbon farming project in New York State. it will be up to 8 farms in the Hudson Valley that will be using farming practices that build the organic content, the carbon content of soils over a 2-year period, and it's going to be monitored. And it's a way that it has been estimated that we can sequester 20–25% of our carbon emissions in healthy soils. And that's the benefit. The side benefits of carbon farming is you get healthy soils, you get cleaner water, and I also have a bill that this project is 2 years, but the bill would support a carbon farming credit for farmers. And so we have to figure out a way to get farming to move in a direction that is supportive, but we have to support our farmers in that process because we want them to survive. So these are some of the things that we've been working on and prioritizing. We're working on a huge piece of legislation called the Climate Community Protection Act, which is sort of all-encompassing framework legislation to address the climate crisis. It will touch on every sector, including agriculture, energy, transportation, and the like. I introduced a bill called the Freedom from Fossil Fuels Act to prohibit any new development of fossil fuel infrastructure and require that the state develop a plan to get to a clean energy system by 2040. So I hope to get that sort of folded into the Climate Community Protection Act, but there's a lot of other things I can talk about, and we don't have a lot of time, but we're working right now on the Farm Labor Fair Practices Act to protect farm workers' rights, extend those rights. We have to do it in a way that makes sure that farming remains viable in New York, and I believe that we can do that. We can pass a law that will keep farmers farming and give farm workers the protections that they need and that all workers need and deserve. But I want to stop there, but I do want to say that a lot of the issues that I'm working on and care about at the state level in farming and agriculture, in protection of open space and trail networks and food production and food security and all of these different and green energy technologies, all of these topics are topics of Mohawk consultations and past awardees, and so we're really addressing here the issues that we are in need of addressing. So you're on top of it, and I want to thank you, and I so want to congratulate Stiles, and I have a certificate from my office that I want to present to you. So thank you very much, and I'm really pleased to be here for you.